Hey guys, welcome to the Encrypted Angels channel, and this is Daxx, and we are a DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder System, and today we're going to be talking about an incident that happened on Saturday. So before we get into that though, if you have not already, please subscribe down below and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Also, if you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram, and that's the same name, Encrypted Angels, on Instagram if you would like. And so today I have Paul with me. He's our partner, so he's been with me and my system, as our partner for just a little over 10 years now. So last Saturday we had a pretty intense incident that, well, we're going to fill you in and tell you what happened and how it happened and how it affected us, and mostly it happened to him. So that's why he's here. You go ahead. He's gonna.
So yeah, we had a. Do you wanna start off, or should I?
You go ahead and start off with your first part of the story because you were there first when it was, you were the one. Just you go ahead and start.
It was my fault. So, all right. Saturday night we were cooking tacos. We always like to kind of deep fry our shells. So what I had done is I had put a frying pan with a very small amount of oil in the bottom, and started to heat it up when the meat was close to done and everything. Cooking goes, and all of a sudden the oil lit and caught on fire. Not a very big fire at first, but so I decided to baking soda, smother it out. We didn't have any. So then a lid, cover it and smother it, the lid I had was a glass lid, which was too big, and it put on, and it was still allowing air in. So my biggest fear was that it will shatter and the explosion will send the oil flying, which is on fire all over our kitchen and stove, and yeah. So smoke alarm started going off, and about this time, it was only about 10 seconds into it, it had reached about 2 to 3 feet off the pan. So it was pretty warm, and not very.
My cat just got up onto the bed and is going behind us and is a little bit distracting me. I apologize.
But anyway, so about 2 to 3 feet high, very, very warm, and so I had no choice. I could not think of anything else. My hero at the time came out, and I asked her to open the door, and she did, and took care of that because I was holding the pan like this, and trying to walk it out as best I could, and as I was walking it, they were coming onto my hands holding the pan. So we got it out over the little fence into the middle of the yard, and we just let it burn out, and like I said, my hero here took care of everything. She got the windows open, got the fans out. I mean, before I knew it, I was in shock. I was like, what happened? And it was like, and she took care of it. And then after everything settled down, we started checking things out, and I noticed my hands were not well. So she had driven me to the hospital where I got treatment. They were really bad, but between you and I'm kind of a tough guy, so I don't feel like any other guy. I don't like to admit a lot of pain, but that was the biggest thing that was going through me was pain, and I just wanted the pain to stop. So we got me treated, and I'll kind of let you take the rest of the story there.
Okay.
You fill everybody in so that we can get them caught up.
So I'll tell you a bit of my side of the story of what happened. So I'm in my office, and normally I'm the one that does the taco part. So normally I'm the one that does the oil and does the tacos and stuff. This time he wanted to do it in particular, so I asked him, I offered, I said, hey, do you want me to come out and do the tacos? He said, no, I got it. I'm like, okay. So I was letting him do it, and we were in my office, and I smelled something kind of like intense coming from the kitchen. And so I decided to go out into the kitchen to see what was going on. When I walked around the hallway to see what was going on, all I saw, it looked like our kitchen was on fire. The pan was on fire. The fire was licking the ceiling and the walls. I could not tell if the ceiling and walls were actually on fire or if it was just on the pan. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. That's when he was like, open the door, and he like grabbed the pan, and I opened the door, and he threw it outside, like I said, and the fire did end up going out. At this point, every single fire alarm in our entire house, of course, is going off. So, of course, you know how like blaring loud that is. It was so traumatic. It was so traumatic.
She kept her stuff together, though.
So I've told people that many a times, like during the emergency, I'm great. Like I can keep it together, I can get us to the emergency, I can get you to the ER. But here's what happened. Okay, so something different happened with us that we've never experienced before. And I've always heard of this as being possible when dealing with trauma. In fact, I just did a video about trauma. And what happened is once we got to the hospital and he got admitted and he was sitting in the bed, and you know we were at the point like they already did his vitals and we were waiting for the doctor to come in. At that point, I started feeling really lightheaded, and so I told him, I said, I gotta go sit down for a minute. And so there was a chair next to the bed. I went to go sit down in the chair, and because of how I felt, I knew to lean myself up against the wall, make sure I had nice, like my head was nice and sturdy up against the wall, or pretty sturdy as I could. And so I was leaning up against the wall, and I just remember like just my eyes closed, and I was out. Like I was just completely out of it. And for a split second, as I was coming to, for a split second, I really did not know where I was at all. For a split second, I really thought I was waking up in bed, and that it had been the next morning for a split second. And so I started coming to. I was very, very confused and disoriented with what was going on. And so they got in between Paul and the nurses and stuff. They got me to come to. And at that point, since I fainted at the hospital, they had to admit me. That sucked. But they had to. But as I got up to walk from the room that they had Paul in to them admitting me into my own room, I knew my stomach was starting to get really sick, and so I lost my stomach, to put it nicely. I was in the ER, and because I know what I know about trauma, I was telling the nurses that they were kind of confused, like, why did she? So they were kind of confused with what was going on. I was like, look, I have CPTSD. I know this is a response to trauma. This is the first time that's happened to me, but I knew what it was too. Right. So.
But did you still want to show the hand?
Well, they saw it bandaged up. I don't think we want to unbandage it, but your other hand is unbandaged. So if we want to give them an idea that that's almost.
Like how I should hold it up.
So that was a new experience for us. Like I've never actually fainted from trauma before. I have lost my stomach before. I've gotten headaches before. I've gotten a lot of other physical responses before. I've heard that some people have fainted during trauma before. That was the first time that it's happened to us. This part of this scary part though was also, I didn't know this at the time, but he told me afterwards that our body started convulsing or shaking, like a light seizure or something.
Very light, yeah.
Yeah, either like a light seizure or just convulsing, like shaking. I don't know what or why. Doctors don't know what or why. They didn't run any tests, but I also did not want them to do an IV or anything. So they gave me a medication to put underneath my tongue and to help with the nausea. And that was, they treated him, they wrapped up his hand and treated it with, cleaned it and did everything that they're supposed to do hardcore second-degree burn. Yeah. And so we got discharged from the hospital, got home, and we've been resting, and I've been taking care of him as much as he'll let me.
Yeah. Like I said at the beginning of the video, tough guy. But yeah, and I would like to, hey, say thanks to all the doctors and registered nurses out there that, through all this stuff that's going on, and you guys still there taking care of people and good attitudes. And you guys are real heroes out there. Appreciate it.
Indeed, thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys
so
don't
much
get
to
enough
all
love.
the essential workers out there. Thank you.
Yeah, and anybody who is out there, too, like even food service workers and people picking up your trash. All those people are doing things that are necessary, and they are putting themselves at a higher risk for us. So thank you. And yeah.
All right. Is there anything else we wanted to fill the viewers in on?
Well, we are getting fire extinguishers.
Yes. Fire extinguishers, people. Fire extinguishers.
They are not expensive at all.
No, I thought they were. Last time I looked into one, I don't know. Anyway, it's suffice to say, I found some available online. I can't say where because I'm not a sponsor of them or anything. But anyway, so I found some very affordable online. It's out there, and so yes, it's make sure that you have fire extinguishers in your home. If you do not have fire extinguishers, please get some. If you do have fire extinguishers, please make sure they are up to date. Because during these hard times, trust us, this is the last thing you want to worry about.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we still have our house. We still have our lives. It's really bad what happened to his hands. Both his hands have second-degree burns.
But it could have been worse.
Yes, it could have been much worse.
I could have. Any millions of other bad things could have happened, and we were very lucky, even though we did not get away unscathed.
Yeah. So please, fire extinguishers, people.
All right. So the essential workers, they don't really have time to deal with small things, and if you take care of yourselves with fire extinguishers, medical kits, if you prepare yourself for the small emergencies, let them handle the big ones.
Yes, indeed. All right, guys. Thank you. Please also don't forget, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, and again, you can follow me on Instagram. It's been awesome. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye, guys.
See ya.